a mysterious meeting was organized on Mount Olympus. Do you know what this place is? This is the home of all the goods and goddesses of ancient Greece, a very advanced civilization for the time when they exist. In fact, to this day, there is still a country that retains this name. Ancient Greece was a group of many people. One of them was inhabited by the Athenians and another by the Spartans. And legend as it that it was the gods who decide the destiny of all these peoples. There in the Olympus they talk about topics as important as the one we are going to tell you about.
Let us begin with a brief summary of the discussion that was taking place at Olympus. This has been provoked by an urgent message that has reached the temple. The message said so. Urgent message for the goodness of Olympus. We need help. We have seen that many of us earlies are losing fairness, such as courage, kindness, or honesty. It is very important that this situation be resolved as soon as possible. Still surprised and angry about what was happening, Ares, god of war, contacted Zeus through a mystical connection between gods. Zeus, I need you to come down to the world of mortals, for we are in grave danger. Humans are losing their most valued qualities. I need you to get going and do something to get them back. Zeus knew where to start, Andalusia. According to the great sage of distant lands, it is said that the bravest people from all over the world live there. Above all, a young boy who It said that he liberated the city of Goddess with his enormous strength and is able to raise columns and even kill lions with his hands. Even many is considered as a semi-god. Do you boys and girls know who I'm talking about? Zeus knew where his son was. He turned to him and convinced him to help in this difficult task. As Hercules was half-god, he had a better relationship with humans and it would be easier for him to do this.
Hercules took his boat and went to the small town that asked the gods for help. This trip was not easy because he had to make it by boat by the Mediterranean Sea, which at that time was very brave. But nothing happened since the courage of Greek Hercules could overcome any adversity. It was said that for this very reason the gods, specifically his father, had trusted him with this mission.
After this encounter with his son, Zeus took his beautiful horse Pegasus, and among the thunders he realized in his path. He appeared in the sky of Olympus. There, Ares, I have been on Earth a long time. I have found the ideal person for his mission, my son Hercules. He's a perfect boy, he can't fail. Ares received a message from one of his commanders on Earth. He didn't give credit. Hercules had not found the courage needed in Andalusia. He had failed. Olympus was divided. Zeus did not believe that his son would not be able to carry out, whereas Ares, furious at the truth he has placed himself for nothing, decided to face him in the most cruel battle that is remembered to this day. Decided to go down again in search of someone who could solve the serious problem that was happening, and that not even his son had managed to solve. Suddenly, he noticed a beautiful woman who was standing up to bandits. For a moment, he thought about taking action, but realized that this woman was brave enough to do it. So when she ended the conflict, she went to answer Zeus' question. She answered in the affirmative, about being afraid. At that moment, Zeus understood that the bravest fact that can be shown is to assume that you have a fear, and face it. Zeus took her in his arms to climb next to the Olympus, and presented her to the rest of gods. Once at Olympus, the woman demonstrated her humility by assuming that she did not feel like the bravest person on the earth. And it was at that precise moment when everyone understood that she was the ideal person who could solve the problem. And with her courage and humility, she would teach the gods and demigods that these two qualities are the most important of a person.